Happy Saturday night, guys. I'm tired. We didn't work too much today, but more than most of the days this week. It's been a terrible week for work. At least we got to do some, but just we've been under the weather. I'm feeling a little bit better today. Still just kind of draggy, tired. Barely even have the energy to do this video, but I thought I'd push through and do one. The weekend is here upon us, as you know. Just been watching an old show. I never actually watched through the whole series of it. It's called The X-Files. A lot of you probably know what it is. It was big in the 90s. They came out with some more of them later on. But I never watched them all. So I'm in season 1 right now. I was watching it with the kiddies. Their mommy is busy. She's got her own little business. She makes chocolate-covered strawberries. Today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody, for those of you who celebrate. So I kept the kiddies, little Layla and Isaac, I kept them in here. We were hanging out. They were eating some chippies, and we were watching the show. And they almost fell asleep, and I almost fell asleep. And then they wanted to go see what Mommy was doing. And she was finished her work, so it worked out fine. So I guess I did some babysitting today as well. It's been a while. When I was a teenager, I used to babysit all the time. I mean, I got babysat when I was young, but yeah, I guess I did. We had a family at church, our old Baptist church back in Canada. And they had a whole pile of kids, and I used to watch them sometimes. That was crazy. I think I made $20 each time I did it. And that was back in the late 90s. Ah, the memories. All right, we're in the Daily Wisdom for Men Devotional here in 2018. We're on January the 25th, so we're almost done this month. And then I'll have to choose another devotional book to go into. I thought by now I would have started a new one, but I just haven't got around to it. Slow, Steady Progress is the title of this one. Ecclesiastes 7 and 8 in the NASB version of the Bible, which I do have one of them over there on the shelf. I have an NASB Bible. It says this: the end of a matter is better than its beginning. Patience of spirit is better than haughtiness of spirit. I thought we could read, let me see. Let's read the first... Let's do the first 14 verses. It'll cover that, but we'll get some Bible into us here tonight. As you guys know, I have the modern English version of the Bible. I usually use it. Sometimes I use King James or other versions. But anyway, the value of wisdom. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, starting at verse number 1. It says, a good name is better than a precious ointment. It's good to have a good reputation and a good name. And the day of death than the day of birth. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting. Really? For this is the end of all mankind, and the living will lay it to heart. Grief is better than laughter, for with a downcast face the heart considers the good. See, when things are terrible and bad, you start to think on the good things. And I understand where he's going with this. The heart of those who are wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of those who are foolish in the house of feasting. It is better to hear the rebuke from a wise man than a man listen to the song of fools. For like the crackling sound of thorns under a pot, so is the mocking laughter of fools, and this is also vanity. For oppression brings confusion to the wise man, and a bribe destroys a man's heart. The end of a matter is better than the beginning of it, and the patient in spirit than the haughty in spirit. That's our key verse right there. Do not be quick in your spirit to be angry, for irritation settles in the bosom of fools. Do not say, why were the earlier days better than these days? For it is not from wisdom that you inquire this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance and an advantage to those who see the sun. For the protection of wisdom is like the protection of money, and the advantage of knowledge and wisdom preserves the life of him who has it. Consider the work of God, who is able to make straight what he has made crooked. In the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of distress consider. God has made the one as well as the other. For this reason, man will not be able to understand anything that comes after him. I tell you, Solomon was wise, and he had a lot of deep writing to dive into. Ecclesiastes is a wonderful book, by the way. I enjoy it every time I read it. All right, slow, steady progress. Our author tells us, if you've ever been to a rally, spiritual, sports, or business related, then you know how a great message can fire up a crowd. Everybody plans to go home and implement what they learned. But as soon as they walk through the door, reality hits them. I've been there myself. The sink is backed up. The car needs repairs. Their son needs to ride to soccer practice, and the baby is crying. So they dive into their responsibilities, and the end of the matter, their new goal, fades as quickly as the emotion that swept through the auditoriums hours earlier. Happens in church all the time, too, by the way. They're like the old man who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy, yet has no firm root in himself, but is only temporary. Matthew 13, 20 and 21 in the NASB Bible. In today's verse, Solomon calls you to be patient of spirit as you set your mind on something. If your goal is to read God's word every day without fail, then tend to your responsibilities. But try getting up a little earlier. If your goal is to walk 5 miles a day, start with 1 mile and work your way up. If your goal is to set a new sales record, then study the current leader and carefully implement his strategies. Slow, steady progress beats quick, emotional commitment every time. The end is better than the beginning. And I've tried to bite off more than I can chew right away, and then I get disheartened, and then I quit entirely what I was doing. And I hate that, and I want to break that terrible habit. And I've been doing that all my life, but I think I'm doing better these days with that. Anyway, patience. Do the things you need to do. I'm going to read my Bible right after this video is done. I need to do that today. I haven't read in Matthew the way I'm reading kind of straight through, and I haven't done that for a couple days the way I would like to. So I'm just going to take the initiative right now, jump in bed, and go read in Matthew somewhere, wherever I left off. So thank you for tuning in with me, guys. God bless you guys. Appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you in the next Daily Wisdom for Men Devotional from 2018. Check your 3 Ps.